You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Good motherfucking morning. It's your Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. I am your host, Ariana, aka Divine Moon Goddess. Yes, we are phasing out the name. I don't know. It's really weird not to be Divine Moon Goddess anymore. It's really, really weird. So, changing it up. Uh, yeah, it's pretty weird. So, good morning, you guys. This morning show is brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers in Radiance.com, where all your questions get answered. Remember, in the month of February, you can get your services, you could get services for 25% off if you use the code knowledge444. All the classes are under the shop, not under services anymore. They're under the shop. So you definitely can go there and check out the classes should you want to learn from me. I don't have any live classes right now. I may have some in the fall, but I have to see if I will be doing any in the fall because this has just already been a busy year and there's so much stuff that I'm trying to do on the back end. Of life and trying to get some business shit together on the back end. So there's a lot going on. Are you finally home? That's good, Debbie. So good morning. It's Thursday. What is everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys got plans. Can you guys hear me? Debbie, can you hear me? Hopefully you guys got plans for the weekend, that you're doing something beautiful for the weekend. I do want to say thank you for all of you guys that tune in, that watch, that share this out. I do appreciate all of the support as I love doing this morning show. I would love to get paid for this, but it is what it is. I love it so much that I'm going to show up every day anyway. Um, oh shit, Tara, getting a new hair day. Happy birthday. Hey, Skip. Hey, Betty. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I know there's a lot of craziness going on. When things in the world are going crazy, we start to get very anxious. We start to get very scared. A lot of fear starts to run through our veins. So, be conscious, but don't allow yourself to drop into the madness of fear and the what ifs of what's going to happen. If you need to prepare for things, I know there's a horrible snowstorm also, like up in the north. So just, I think it's like northwest coming this way to the east. So whatever it is that you're going through, just try to prepare as much as you can and allow yourself not to like overly go crazy. Good morning, Raquel. Good morning, Evelyn. Because I know how anxious and it can be. It can be pretty a lot, right? Um what other announcements do I have going on? I'm going to probably do a webinar soon through Zoom where I talk about the business proposals that I've been telling you guys. If you should you want to invest in something, where I will tell you guys what I got going on and should you want to be an investor in that. Soon I got to look at the days and times and stuff coming up. Probably in the next week or two, I might do a few of those and just kind of go over. I really want you guys, even if it's not investing in me, I want you guys to invest in something. I want you guys to take your money and not just fuck it off as a consumer, but actually think of ways to create passive income or create long-term income, or income that will come in later for you. Anytime you invest, you got to make sure that you're putting money away and you're not getting it back. Like it's not a flip. Okay, so there's two big things to kind of look at when you're investing. One is investing long term, knowing that your money, it's going to take a minute for that money comes back. Second, is that you're not investing more than what you can afford to invest. Okay, you got to be okay to invest that money. That's what investment is. Investment is not flipping. It's not giving your money to the drug dealer and they flip it, right? It's different, very different concept here. All right. Good morning, Divergent. Good morning, Shondell. You got snow coming tomorrow? Yeah. Yes, I heard there's bad snowstorms coming. I think it's starting on the west and kind of coming up or coming down. I don't know. Where are you located, Raquel? Photography. I need to get a photo shoot done. I need to do some promo stuff, honestly, just for Thick Goddess Energy. The new platform, once we get the new platform, it's pretty crazy how we're transforming in 2022. So you guys know Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings is going to be changing. For now, it's still the same. That's my legal business. But it is going to be changing. I'm looking into going into a nonprofit organization so that I can help spread awareness of alternative healing and alternative ways of living, and the benefits of meditative states healing and meditation, period. I believe in meditation wholeheartedly. I believe in the practice of it. And I think empowerment is key. So I'm trying to loop and put all my mindset together. There's so much I want to do, but there's just it's how you word it and how you put it together, right? Right, right, right. Awesome. You know what, I used to have a 401k when I worked for a company. Of course, I've been working for myself for 2 years now, almost 2 years now. Oh, damn. Damn, I've been working for myself for almost 2 years now. So I don't have a 401k, but as I'm growing my new company, because I have another company that I started recently where I could talk a little bit about it, where I'm getting into I want to get into, of course, real estate and properties, but I want to get into affordable housing, more so than just flipping and becoming a millionaire. I really want to get into affordable housing and providing that. Where I live, there's not a lot of affordable housing. Rent is fucking ridiculous. Even for apartments, apartments are damn near $2,000 for a fucking two-bedroom apartment. That's crazy. People can't afford that shit. So I'm really looking into doing affordable housing, and that's one of my ventures for 2022. Oh shit, I like Venice. It was really cold when I went over there, so I would love to go back when it's warm. You're in Arkansas. That's what's up. You're gonna have to send me something so I can come check out your photography. I would love to do more working with you guys and contracting out to you guys things that I need. If anyone does logos, let me know because I need a logo. Um, all right, Skip paparazzi. I actually like paparazzi. It's pretty freaking cool. Um, I had a friend who did paparazzi a couple years ago. I would buy from her. My investment this month was having my final passing paid for. Awesome, Betty. Awesome. I love it. The thing is, if you have things that you're doing, just don't get caught up in the fucking off a bunch of money on bullshit. This year, let this be a year that you really look into what it is that you want to do. Now, I know stocks are looking crazy right now, inflation is crazy. Everything's going down, war and all this other stuff is happening. So everyone's kind of scared. Do I put my money into this? Do I invest right now? Is this the time to invest? I really feel like don't invest nothing that you can't afford to lose. Investments are a risk. I don't care if it's a 401k. I don't care if it's a bank account. Just know the terms. Even banks are only required to keep 10% of what you put in the bank in a given day. Okay. Doesn't matter how many people that they have. So, just remember that they're only required to have 10% of what you've deposited every day. So, that's illegal. You got to remember that. So wherever you're investing your money is a risk. Don't ever think it is not a risk. It is a risk. Okay. It is. So just remember that. Make this time something where you change the way that you do things. If you're someone who knows that you constantly always fuck off your taxes, don't fuck off your taxes. Okay, Divergent. Maybe look into ways to create wealth for you, Divergent, at home. What are some things that you can do? I don't know if you're crafty. I don't know if you're nifty. Shit, I don't know what you do. But think of ways to make money, to create wealth, okay? Hey, sepsis. That sounds really bad. Sepsis. Sepsis. I don't know. Mm. You know what? I am looking into that. Divergent. My business, Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Raiders, is a DBA. So I don't get a lot of tax breaks. I don't get a lot of tax breaks like an LLC or a corporation would get when it comes to all of that stuff. The new kind of company that I'm creating is a corporation. So that one, the tax breaks will be different. So that one I am looking into healthcare also, as well as retirement and things like that. You just got to do your homework and find who do you trust, right? Just because someone's been there for 20, 30 years doesn't mean they can't go out of business. So reading reading financials and being on top of financials is really, 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 really strong. Skip, are you into stocks? Are you trading stocks? I personally don't like day trading. I've watched a lot of it. I was going to get into it, but it's too anxious for me. It's too much anxiety, and it's a full time fucking job. Just my, I do long term stocks, so everything that I invest in is long term stocks. I just put money into it, kind of watch it. One of the biggest things about it is you really have to be on top of the financials, looking what the business is doing. When the business reports its earnings, you need to be paying attention to the business earnings. What are they reporting? If they're a public, especially if they're a public traded company, um, what's going on with them? Because you don't want to be putting your money into a place that is going downhill, that's tanking. And a lot of people just invest in shit that they have no idea about. Look at everyone who works. You work for a certain company, they tell you, oh, we have a 401k plan. How many people look up that company to see how well they're doing financially? How many people look it up and see? Like the company I used to be with, they did their stocks through Fidelity. Fidelity was the brokerage. Right. So I never once looked up Fidelity to see their reports to see how they were doing. Not once. I just trusted that, hey, this is the company through my company, so hey, they must be fucking good. You got to do your diligence. You got to do your homework, right? You got to look a little bit deeper, because we're just trusting that someone says, yeah, this is where you go and invest your money. And then it's like, fuck, wait, what? You lost 1,000. Yeah, I can't do the day trading. It's too much. You're not supposed to get emotional or have your emotions into it, because it's like gambling and shit. I can't do it. So I only do big stocks, what they call like blue chips, which are stocks that are very known, and that have higher profit percent back kickback. So those are the kind of stocks that I do, ones that have a good kickback to me. This is a prime example of a scammer, you guys. That most likely they stole that picture off somebody's profile. We're going to block them. You did a 5 year, then rolled it over to a 10 year, then a 20 year. We tried to get the most gain. Got you. Yeah, I'm getting into it, and I'm just getting some information because I want to do things right, and I want to make sure that the company that I'm building is going to be one that not only I get a kickback from, but my employees also get the best also. So I'm thinking about myself and others as I do plan to hire people as I move along. Oh yeah, some people are G's at the fucking stock industry. I just I just can't. It's too much. I that high anxiety type life ain't for me. I'm like yeah, no. But I do still do stocks. Like I said, I do long-term stocks. So I put money into the stocks periodically throughout the month. I kind of just put $10, $5 periodically through stocks that do very well and have been known for decades. Um, so I kind of do that. And then I do get a kickback. I get a kickback. Domino's is giving me a kickback. Who just gave me a kickback? I can't remember. Someone just gave me a profit. You got to put your money into the one that you get dividend profit back. And you got to look into that because there's so many different ones. I can't remember who was the other one that just gave me a kickback. I just use it to put more money in. I don't cash it out because I just think of it, like I said, don't invest more than what you can lose. Don't ever invest more than what you can lose in a given period. All right, Skip, we'll see you later. You got scammed. Oh, wow. You can't report it to your whoever you paid through, Raquel? Right, right. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's a gamble. So I that's why I say anytime you're investing, you got to remember investment comes with risks. You will lose. It's just the name of the game. So don't ever, don't ever risk what you can't afford to. Um, I don't think that should stop you from investing. I think everyone should get into some type of investing. Think about your life. Think about owning land. Even if you were to just, there's some land out here, which I'm gonna acquire some, which is like fucking. I just found some. It's a little south of me that's like 5 grand an acre, and I was like, even if I'm not ready to build on that shit right now, I'm gonna acquire it because at some point somebody's either going to want to buy it from me or I'm going to build on that shit, right? So you got to start thinking out of the box of what we normally do. For me, I know no one taught me this shit. No one taught me to want to buy land, to want to buy property, to want to have investments and assets. Do you guys know what fucking assets are? My whole life, I didn't know what a fucking asset was. Okay. So now that I've been in business for almost 2 years, I've kind of learned what assets, my computer, my fucking printer, my car is an asset. I use it for marketing. There's all of these different things that I've learned over this like almost 2 years now. So you said, yeah, try cash out, but at the end of the day, people get what they put back. That's 20. Yeah, that's pretty shitty though, Raquel. Um, So when you're looking at your life, what do you own besides clothes and cars, right? What do you own in your life? And so not everybody needs to be a business owner, but you damn sure should make sure that you own some shit, that you have leverage in your life, that you got some places to sell off should you need to. And that's one of the biggest things that I've been looking at over this past year is of acquiring. One of the things I always thought about, what am I passing down to my kids and my grandkids? What am I passing down through the family? And at this point, I ain't passing shit down, right? They won't get any bills. Luckily, they won't get any debt, but I'm not passing down nothing else to them, you know? Yeah, that's the biggest thing, divergent. Whatever land I get, I'm gonna make sure I can put a cow on that bitch. Because as soon as I learn that all you gotta do is put a cow on there and boom, property taxes is gone. Just because you got a cow walking around shitting and eating. Hell to the fucking yeah. So if you guys didn't know that, that's a thing. You can fence it, put some cows on there, and you could get a huge tax break for it, or chickens. Apparently chickens too. You know what? I didn't think about chickens. I always see fucking cows. You always see land with cows. You never see land with chickens. I don't know if chickens need to be tended to more than the cows, but I definitely would put some cows on my land and save me some dollars. You got to get savvy about this. There's all of these tricks and tips in life, and no one teaches us. This is the shit that they should be teaching in fucking school, but they don't teach us that. Why? Because they don't want us to be self-sufficient, right? They don't want us to fucking grow. They don't want us to own shit, right? Maybe. I would definitely do eggs though and have my own organic eggs and shit. I don't know what's the process. I probably need to look into that before I start just putting a bunch of chickens and shit on my land. Let me just do a bunch of chickens. Yeah, my biggest thing is I really don't have a lot of debt anymore. My two biggest things right now is my car, of course, which I'm gonna sell off to my business, and my because you can actually sell your car to your business. um Legally, you can do that and get it out, put it in your business name. um and my school loans, I still have some school loans. Those are the two biggest things. Other than that, I really don't have shit on my credit. My credit is actually pretty fucking like nothing now after all the years of repairing, removing, and doing my thing. And so now it's just managing credit cards and making sure that I don't put anything new on my fucking credit, right? Oh, yeah. Good morning, Renee. Yeah, no, no one taught me this about purchasing and owning, being an owner of anything. Nobody taught me about acquiring stuff. So my thing is now I'm getting into some other projects. Like I said, affordable housing is something that I want to offer in Orlando, especially. These this the rent is crazy, and the amount of people that are being displaced because of it's quite alarming. So something I'm looking into, that's one of my business side kind of projects that we're working on, and looking into funding. um, I'm not a nonprofit just yet. I'm still looking. There's a lot of requirements actually for nonprofit, and I want to make sure that I get everything together. So, of course, my spiritual business is different, um, way different from anything real estate, affordable housing. So, it's just managing dogs, chicken, horses, and pigs. Aw. Aw. I'm not really a farmer type of person. I could see my daughter with a farm though. I really could see my daughter with a fucking farm and a bunch of animals. Because that's just the way she is. She would take every stray home, every fucking abandoned dog. She would always pick up something. And I'm like, we can't keep it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But think about it. Some of these last years have been some of the greatest tax payouts for a lot of people, for work, especially working class and low income. Have you guys seen some of the low income fucking tax returns? Some of y'all got like 10K, 11K back on a tax return. If you didn't fucking invest that and all you bought was TVs and clothes, somebody needs to sit you down and have a conversation. My taxes the last 2 years have gotten me into my business, and investing in myself, which is my business. Um, I believe in investing in self and self development. And when you take that time to perfect who you are, perfect your craft, perfect what you do, then you stand out from the rest, right? And that's what everyone should be doing. You should be perfecting your life or investing in something. But if all you're doing is getting this chunk of money once a year just to fuck it off, right? and you're big balling for a month or two, then you're back to the struggle because you have no fucking money. What you kind of have to ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing wrong? You know what? It's crazy because I remember I was a person who would use that tax money for a car. Oh, I got a new car. And I remember one time I was in my early 20s and I got a car from taxes. And then, like a couple months after, I had lost my job. I had lost my fucking job a couple months after, and I ended up getting my car repoed by the summertime because it was like out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to lose my job. I wasn't expecting any of the shit that happened. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't find any work. And all of a sudden, I ended up getting this car. So I would say, if you know you're doing fairly well and you know your bank account has at least 3 months of bill money in it in your savings, then hell yeah, go buy you a new car. But if you know that you buy this expensive ass fucking car and insurance and all that, but you don't have no money in your fucking bank account other than that tax money, it's probably not the best time to buy a fucking car. There's got to be some things of reshaping, and this is what this program today is for, is deprogramming and reprogramming our mindset, right? So if we're deprogramming, we're taking all the bullshit that people gave us when we were younger. They programmed us to be consumers. Why? Because hello, capitalists need that. They need us to be fucking consumers. They need us to spend all our money all the time and not save shit. Not a lot of people get the teachings of how to do smart money moves, right? Or to save, or to question, do I need this right now? Do I really need to buy this right now? Just because you have money doesn't mean you need to spend money. Rich people don't fucking just spend money all the time. They know when to spend it, they know when not to spend it. So to become wealthy, you have to understand wealthy people aren't just fucking off their money all the time. And you know, wealthy people spend more money on self development than anything else. You got to change the mindset. So if every year you get this big ass tax check, and the last couple years, if you count your tax checks, that's 20, 30, 40, 50 grand that you fucked off and have nothing to show for it. You might need to sit back and be like, damn, damn, damn. Okay. Right. People are getting these huge taxes. And I got a huge one for my business. I got a huge cutback for my business last year. All went into my business, you know, didn't fuck it off. All of it went into product business, because I felt like in that point in time, and I did a Sedona retreat. I did a Sedona retreat last year where I got linked up with some spiritual people through online, and we did a spiritual retreat. So you got to reprogram your mind on what is it that you're going to do with this money, because they want you to fuck it off and spend it. But you don't need to. Just because you have money doesn't mean you need to spend money. If there's something about you that every time you have money you need to go spend it, that's a bigger problem. That's a bigger issue, right? So sit back. Deprogramming is changing the way we think, changing the way we see things, and changing the way that we operate. One of the things is, in this past couple years, I want to be wealthy, and I deserve to be wealthy. But when I listen to wealthy people, the way they move is so different. The way rich people move and the way poor people move are two different type of styles. It's rich people are rich. It's that they move different. They do different. They think different. They invest. When rich people get money, they take their money, they invest it, they pay bills, and then what they have left is what they play with. Okay. Poor people spend money, then think about bills. Maybe they get their bills, then maybe they don't get their bills. Maybe they got to go borrow to pay their bills. That's how poor people operate. So you got to get out of that energy of being a poor person. You don't want to be a poor person for the rest of your life. Good, Raquel. Good, good, good. Got you, Daniela. Okay. Got you. And there's nothing wrong with that is having your rainy day money. Like I said, most people will talk when you talk to anyone who does any type of business or budgeting, they tell you to have at least 3 months of your bills in your savings. That in the case of anything happens, if you allow that to just sit, right, for the just in case, when the just in case happens, then you're not hit with the, oh my fucking god, now I got to go sell my plasma, I got to go fucking cut off an arm because I don't have the fucking money to do this, that, and the third, you know. Exactly. So I had to change from a poor person's mindset. Mind you, I was raised in the poor, okay? Poor household, poor. I was raised in a parents who raised me in welfare. I was raised in a welfare household. That meant we got money once a month until they changed it to twice a month. It was once a month. You got cash at the first, you know, and that money was gone very quickly. They would pay a couple of the bills, but they wouldn't pay them in full, and that money would be gone very quickly because they drink it up or whatever, and then they would be broke for most of the month. And they would have to do other shit to get money. My dad did a lot of recycling in California. Recycling is a thing, but he did it because he could get money. Um, So we had food stamps that would come in like once a month on the 8th. So we ate good for like a week or two. But then the rest of the month we were eating at churches. The rest of the month, I remember going with my family to churches to get food. So you just have to remember what you were taught or shown. Some of you guys maybe have better, that you were taught better from your parents about saving and money. But most people have this concept of work hard and save, right? And it's not work hard and save. That's not going to get you wealth. Wealth is risk. To get up there and get that real wealth, you're going to have to risk some things. You're going to have to invest in some things that are bigger than you. You're going to have to get a financial mindset of how to invest, where to invest. Because wealthy people don't just work hard, earn it, and save that shit till, until they make $1 million. Wealthy people are taking risks with their money. So again, don't risk more than you can. Don't risk something that you're going to regret losing. Okay, because that's the biggest thing you got to understand. So whatever you decide to invest in, whether it's assets, whether it's real estate, whether it's a business, make sure that you are taking the time to put it in and successfully make some moves, right? Don't spend all your money on upgrades and then you don't have no money for this. Like you got to do some budgeting in between this stuff. Right, right, right. My thing is, even though I'm really comfortable, I still have a back worry about money. And it's crazy because I really shouldn't. I really make more than what I made when I worked for a fucking doctor's office and I was a certified medical assistant. So I really should not be worried about money, but I still have that worry because it was embedded in me since a child. That's my childhood trauma. My childhood trauma has stayed with me of worrying about money, and it doesn't matter how much money I have in the bank. I'm still always like, all right, do I have enough money? And Spirit is constantly telling me, stop, just chill out, stop, chill out. But it's hard. It's hard when you have that lack that's been embedded in you from generation to generation. You're breaking it. This is the deprogramming, right? You're breaking this lack of wealth. So you have to tell yourself constantly, I'm okay. But the trick is, again, what I started to do was asking myself, do I need this? I don't buy clothes all the time. I buy clothes because every year, you can buy a certain amount of clothes to revamp my wardrobe for my online presence, right? That's a write off. Um, I don't shop too much. I don't buy a bunch of shit that I have no place to put it. I used to be, I still have clothes in my closet that are brand new, I've never worn. I'm not gonna shop anymore. I'm not gonna buy more shit. I have a bunch of shit. You have to stop. If you know that you got new shit in your closet that you've never worn, you probably don't need to buy anything ever fucking again, or start selling that shit. One of them. I was thinking of doing like a online thrift sale, and like teaming up with people that just have a bunch of shit that they want to sell, and we just do like a once a month live yard sale, but it will be an online yard sale. I have a lot of shit I need to get rid of that when I was cleaning out my house, I'm like, this is good stuff. I don't want to throw it away. Um, but I need to get rid of it. So I was thinking of maybe teaming up with some people and doing like a live yard sale. You guys tell me if you want to join and do that. I think that would be pretty fucking cool to do. But when you know you have too much shit, like I had to stop buying crystals for myself. I sell crystals and I want every one of them that I buy. I had to stop buying some for myself because I'm like, I have no place to put them. Where the fuck am I putting all these damn crystals at? I don't have no more space. There are YouTubers that do that. I think we should start doing that. Um, So if it's just if your TV is good, why do you need to upgrade to another TV this year? You just bought a fucking TV last year. I have the same TV I've had for 3 years. Is it 3 years now? Yeah, 3 years. I bought that TV 3 years ago. I still have the same fucking TV. I don't need a new TV. I don't even watch that fucking TV. I think, a lot of people are just so on of what's the latest and greatest, let me have it. But you're forgetting that your money goes a long way. You're a consumer, you're powerful and where you spend your money and what you do with your money. Again, I'm not saying to invest in me, although you could. I'm making some moves this year, y'all. But even if you didn't want to invest with me or work with me, look into doing something beautiful with your money that returns something to you, something that you can own, something that you can have a share. I'm going to be offering that in my company, for people to have shares in it, which is a pretty fucking awesome thing. Um, you know what? I would take it to Salvation Army and Goodwill, but their CEOs make too much money. So they piss me off. If they were actually taking the money and doing what they need to, I would. But there's a lot of these homeless shelters that people they're not even allowing people, or people have to pay to be there. So honestly, I'm not happy with Salvation Army and Goodwill because I feel like they could do better. They get a lot, and some of them, I don't know if it was Goodwill or Salvation Army that was taking a lot of the clothes, selling it to like Africa and shit, and making bank. It just, if you're gonna take the clothes as a donation, why not donate it to Africa? Why are you selling it to fucking Africa or wherever the hell you're selling it? So that kind of made me mad with them. I don't fuck with them. I used to donate to them, but I don't fuck with them anymore. Daniela, let's do the online yard sale. Anybody else? Let me know. Oh, look at that. Exactly. I have the same cheap. I've had it for 3 years. Right. Yeah, it probably was Salvation Army. I couldn't remember which one, but I know one of them, and it was just like that was a turn off for me. You guys remember when you're investing and you're putting money into things, look at who you're fucking with. Look at who you're supporting. What are they doing on the back end? What are the stories that they're doing? What are they actually doing for the communities? Are they really truly helping? I could say here in Orlando, Salvation Army is shitty as fuck. I'm sorry, it is. And I don't care who says different. I love decluttering though. Um, I've been decluttering my home for the last year. And I'll do like a closet, I'll do like a section, and I've thrown a bunch of stuff away. But there's actually a lot of clothes. If anyone is like size 3X, because I've lost a lot of weight. So if anyone's like 3X, I do have a lot of clothes that are 3X that I don't fit. They're brand new. And if anybody wants them, I will just pay for shipping and you can have it. I'm getting that information together, Evelyn. I am going to I'm going to get all of that information together and do a webinar, and I'll talk more about it, and then have, because it's real. I've been really working on some things. I have a couple platforms that I'm working on that are solid. One is the educational platform. I'm very excited about that one. Um, and then the other one has to do with, like I said, real estate and affordable housing project that I want to do. So there's a couple things that I'm doing. Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings is going to change. It just has to. We're not meant to be the psychic hotline. We're meant to educate and shape and heal, and push people to heal. So we're meant to be something bigger than what I shot for in the beginning, which was just doing, basically doing our basic necessities of mediumship, tarot, pendulum, and then teaching classes. So when it comes to Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings, it's time for us to change and mold into the nonprofit organization. I'm still trying to figure out, do I want to keep it with the schooling part or separate that altogether? Most likely it will be separate, because just the back end of it, the legalities of it. So that is what I'm working on. That is what I've been working on, which it gives me a headache to think about all the stuff that have to do in the background. Um, I do love readings, boo. I'm not doing one right now. You'll pay for shipping, Heather. Get in my inbox if you're real. I have quite a few things that are 3X, that they're big and I can't fit them. They're pretty and I've never worn them. So just let me know, and I could send you some pictures of them, and you let me know. And as I keep losing more weight, I'll have some 2X shit in a minute. I got to get back to my routine though. I love that you guys believe in me. Look, I love that you guys believe in me, to the fact that you would invest in a company that I'm building. Um, and I am very, very, very appreciative that I have made a mark on you guys in such a way. We are making moves. A lot of people see people on these channels and they think, oh, that's just a tarot reader. And I'm definitely a businesswoman. Okay. I have perfected my craft so much, and now it's time to take it to the next level. One of the things, though, that I see is the lack of education in alternative healing. There's a huge gap, especially in my culture, which is Afro Latina. And so you have a lot of lack of alternative healing and the concepts of growth in that way. And so that's where I want to stick my feet in and help and assist. Um, and of course, there's other parts of the nonprofit of helping children, young women, just there's a bunch of shit. But we got to start somewhere. Let me not go too far in there. So back to reprogramming. I am gonna set up the webinar though. I'm gonna see probably in the next week. So look for my events. I'll post the event on my Divine Moon Goddess page. I'll probably host it on I'll probably put it on all pages and just kind of put it. I got to pick a date, but we'll talk more about that. I got to get my plan together. Um, Good morning, Yvonne. So deprogramming, just to kind of touch back on that, this is part of the healing process. Part of it is understanding lots of shit we were told is a lie. Most shit we were told as a kid is a lie, right? And getting to that space to understand that and let that shit go, and reprogram. We want to create lives. When I get up here, I'm all about empowerment, and everything that I learn, I like to share with you guys as best as I can for the little bit of time I have, right? um uh Especially depending on when the last video, like if you see mediumship is like from last summer. I think it was the last mediumship. I can't remember when we did the last mediumship. So if you watch the mediumship class, that's from 2021. Yeah, I look a lot different from there. So I've done a lot of work. I've just been so busy that I've been off of my, if you guys saw my post about my gym stuff, I've been off of that for a minute. I'm going to get back there though. I got to get back there. So yeah, depending on what class you last see, you see a different me. So I'm still into to beautifying and reshaping and getting smaller and getting to a normal size for myself. There's nothing wrong with being a big girl, you guys, and I don't want anyone to take it that way. I have always been a taller girl than most people around me, thicker than most people around me, but I've told you guys a lot of times I'm not happy in the skin that I am. I've lost a lot of weight. I don't like how it looks. So I'm like making moves to, like, smoothing out some areas that I'm not happy with. And I think if you're not happy with it, that's fine. You just do the fucking work, right? If you're not happy with it, don't complain about it. Just fucking do the work. And so that's where I'm at in my weight loss career. Yeah, it's been a struggle. There's been a lot of shit, and I can tell you, as anyone who's in business kind of knows this, the tax prep alone is fucking ridiculous. And there's so much things I had to learn about taxes this year in business that was over my head, and I can't blame anybody but myself for poor bookkeeping this year. So I have to go back and do all my bookkeeping and make sure everything and recheck everything before I submit my taxes, because I don't want to get bit in the ass, under or over on my taxes. So that's why I've been so busy this past couple months. So, and I'm not done yet. I wish. I wish I was done, but I'm not done. So, deprogramming just means taking away what you think you know, and reprogramming is instilling new programs. If you think of yourself as a computer, right? And you're upgrading to the next. But you know what happens when your computer upgrades? It deletes the old programming. This is how you have to see your mind. This is how you have to see what you're doing. So what you're doing is you're taking away, you're not just learning something new, you're actually taking away and removing what you thought you knew, and making sure that you understand what you thought you knew wasn't right. It's wrong, right? And then you're reprogramming it with the new concept that you want to do, or the new behavior that you want to do. And this could go so many different ways. It doesn't have to just go finances. This could go so many ways, right? So whatever you're taking away, you're going to refill. You're going to reprogram with a new behavior, a new concept, a new outlook, a new plan of action, right? Whether it's weight loss, whether, if it's weight loss and you're like, okay, instead of me going on this crazy diet, which I know I'm going to fail, I always fail, I never fucking do it, maybe start small. All right, I'm going to just start walking every day. Let me just show up. I had a whole morning show on just showing up. A lot of these things, we want to make these huge fucking changes, but we haven't even mastered showing up for ourselves. And definitely go watch that show if you want to like hear more about just showing up for you, because you just have to make sure that first you start showing up for yourself, and then you start implementing. Maybe I just remove one horrible thing that I do a day with my diet. Maybe I just add one apple a day. Maybe I just add one banana a day. Instead of making it huge. I personally, I love salad. I don't fucking want to eat salad every day though. you know, like, no, I don't. I like food that fucking tastes, it has a taste to it, texture. So I think there's some things that we have to remember. If you know that you're lazy, okay, this is accountability factor. If you know you're lazy, what can you do every day to get out of your laziness? Every day it's like, oh, I want to do that, but I'd rather sit on this couch and do nothing. I want to go for a walk, but I'd rather just lay down. You have to start to push yourself to get out of that lazy ass concept, that lazy ass, this is a routine that you've been doing. And I say lazy because there's days where I'm like, oh, I just want to go do this. We all have our ways about us. So deprogram is taking away to say, I'm not a lazy person anymore, right? I'm not a lazy person anymore. I don't want to be a lazy person. So I'm choosing not to be a lazy person. Today I'm going to get up and do the very things that I've been putting off. What have I been putting off that I need to do today? Right? Don't overwhelm yourself with a bunch of shit, But you want to make sure if you say, I take away this bad behavior or I take away this shitty way of thinking, what am I replacing it with? What is going in its place? What am I switching to? Hopefully it's a healthier piece of something that you're putting in place. All right, I want to, I've been saying this for a long time. I want to be one of these people who fucking wake up in the morning and do yoga to the fucking sunrise. Do you guys think I'm waking up in the morning doing fucking yoga yet? And I've been self-employed for 2 years. Almost 2 years now. Do you think that I'm getting up at the crack of dawn to fucking do yoga? No. It is something that you have to break. What I'm doing is just waking up. I told myself I would just wake up. So every morning, I wake up around 6 up in the morning and I look at the window and I stare at the sunrise. I don't get out of my bed. I just look at the sunrise and I say, thank you. You got to start somewhere. It's the art master showing up first and then start to implement. You can't implement if you can't even show up. If one day you're here, the next day you're there, you're all over the fucking place, it's not going to work, right? If you want to be someone who just gets up earlier, just start getting up. Even if you're just laying in bed, start to just change the fact of opening your eyes, even if you lay there, not hitting snooze. I'm not talking about hitting fucking snooze and going back to sleep. I'm talking about actually waking, laying there for a moment. And then tomorrow you do it again until you're awake. And now all of a sudden you're waking up earlier. Some people are like, I don't have time to do my coffee in the morning or my tea in the morning. I don't have time to take a walk in the morning. Do you really want it? Deprogramming is taking away what you've told yourself you are, what society has told you you are, what you have implemented in your life all of your life. Reprogramming is replacing it with healthier habits, healthier lifestyle, more wellness, more reading. Next week, I'm going to start a challenge with you guys. You'll see me posted. I'm going to do a challenge. We're going to read 10 pages of a book a day. Whoever signs up with me is cool. Maybe I might do some giveaways, actually. Do some incentive. The incentive should be just you fucking reading, right? But I think I'm going to do that, a challenge, read 10 pages a day, because I realized I listen to a lot of stuff because I work, 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 work. I'm at my fucking desk all day long working. So I listen. I listen to a lot of books. I listen to a lot of audio, but that's not reading. That's not me reading. And so I was like, oh no, I need to read more. I need to read more. I don't read enough. And I have a bunch of books that I've read some of the books. So I'm going to take each and every one of these books first and read the fuck out of these first. And then I'm going to get some more. And I will post to you guys what books I have. You could get your own book. You can read with me. Or I'm just going to challenge you to read 10 pages a day. Exactly. It's like I want to do this, but I do zero amount, right? Zero to fucking change the energy. You watch the video. It really does. The biggest thing about this is saying, today I change. Today I change. It's really that easy, but we make this shit so much fucking difficult. We always say, I can't, I can't, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't got no time. But if you really wrote down your whole life, in 24 hours, if you wrote down everything that you do, right? From the time that you didn't want to get up in the morning, that you struggled, the hour that you struggled to fucking wake up, right? To the 5 minutes before you need to get up alarm, to the struggling in the morning time, to whatever you do your morning routine, to work on your breaks, going home, when you get home. If you look at your whole day, you will see how much time you do waste on shit. You know, you will see that you waste a lot of time on a lot of shit that's just like, yeah, I actually could take that. Good morning, Greta. 3 years ago, when I was getting into my spiritual path, I stopped watching TV. I talk about this a lot with you guys. This was part of the deprogramming. Deprogramming was switching from someone who binge watched on Netflix and Hulu and HBO and all of these places to someone who was putting that time into self development. So when I took away that fucking 12-hour weekend, or actually 24-hour to 48-hour weekend where I would binge watch on shows, and I took that into learning about tarot, and I learned about mediumship, and I was learning of how to perfect my craft, and I was learning more in depth into tarot, what that meant. Um, and I kept doing self development. That's what I talk about. I decided to change my lifestyle into a better lifestyle. And a lot of people didn't understand that. Oh, you work too much. You work too much. And it's like, I'm not working. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into self. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into mastering myself, and learning. I love to learn. So when you start to change, you're going to take that time that you're not sacrifice. It's no longer a sacrifice. I used to I'd be on fucking Snapchat, Facebook, and fucking Instagram for hours, just scrolling for hours. I don't do that anymore. So I started to implement this time that I'm sitting on Instagram, this 6 hours on a Saturday that I just fucking spent on Instagram looking at everybody's bullshit. I could put into something else. And so I started taking that time for self development. Whatever it is that I wanted to learn, that's what I was looking, that's what I was watching, that's what I was researching. And then when I really got into 2020 was where I really started developing, whether it was products, whether it was, my name, product lines, things like that. So all of my extra time was going into that. Again, people around me didn't understand that you work too much. But it's like, no, I don't work too much. I'm putting time and effort into me. You got to master yourself, and along with healing. So on my off time, healing was up on the bar, because that was just as important as everything else, trying to make sure that I do something for healing as well as perfecting who I am, perfecting what I'm doing. So most wealthy people, I will tell you, are constantly in the self development. They're constantly developing themselves to become better people, stronger people, smarter people. Knowledge is fucking power. Knowledge is empowerment. If you can remember that, start taking your time for that. And that's what I did. The only reason I've been as successful as I have is because I've taken these steps to branch away from a lot of the things that I used to do. There was a time I started watching tarot on YouTube. I still try to support a couple people, but I can't watch it. That time that you put into that, I'm watching stocks, I'm watching this. So you just got to look at your time. What are you utilizing your time for? It's all your choice. You can listen to what other people say, right? If I listen to what other people say, they would say I'm a workaholic, yada yada yada. I don't have a life, I don't have no fun. Like my grandsons, they think I don't have fun. They just think I work. And I'm like, I actually love what I do. So I actually have a lot of fun. This is not just work for me. For them, it's just like, oh, then it has to work. But for me, I'm like, I'm vibing. It's a different feeling. This is not work anymore. So take away what you think you know and what you think you're supposed to be doing. Replace that where, what do you want to be doing in this moment? Most people want to be free to do whatever they want. But I can tell you, most wealthy people that are free are not just lounging around being lazy as fuck. They're actually very busy. They're out there, they're doing things. They're meeting people, they're socializing, networking. So what kind of life you want is the life you're going to live, right? And you don't let's just look at it like this. When you're watching TV, and I don't know who watches TV with commercials anymore, but whoever watches TV, do you ever see a commercial about a Lamborghini? Like, even when you were a kid watching TV, back when TV was a thing and there was commercials, right? Let's say that, because who fucking watches commercials? Do you ever see a commercial about a Lamborghini or rich people shit, a yacht? You don't. because rich people aren't fucking watching it. They're not marketing it on there because rich people, wealthy people are not watching that. That's why you don't see it. What do you see? Coke, Pepsi, Doritos, shit to keep you fat, shit to make you unhealthy, and all the crazy fad diet shit, bullshit that's out there. Pay attention. When you're watching, even when you're watching like YouTube, or if you're watching certain programs, what's coming up? What is the advertisement of where you're watching? When you're on Instagram, Facebook, what's the advertisement that's coming up? They're doing electric car snail. You'll see that wealthy people shit is not being advertised on most of the platforms that we are watching. You know why? Because wealthy people aren't watching it. So when you start to see that, you're like, wait a minute, what are wealthy people doing that I'm not doing? And that's what made me start to look into it. What are wealthy people doing that I'm not doing? What can I take away from wealthy people? And one of it is self-development. That's the biggest thing that I took away from is putting that time and effort into myself. So if you could start to deprogram what you think you know about self, about you, about what you're supposed to be doing, and then start to reprogram with healthier habits, actively doing stuff to change, actively getting out, changing not just changing your vibration, not just changing the way you manifest, but actually changing the life and how you live. That's phenomenal. Exactly. So I love everything about occult, alternative healing, auras, meditation, all of that stuff. I love every bit of it. I've learned a lot of it. I don't claim to be a master in anything, but I know a lot. I know a lot of shit. You just have to remember and look at what's around you and how you want to live. I'm not saying everyone needs to be rich and everyone needs to be wealthy, but if you want that, you're going to have to change a lot of how you practice. You're going to have to change how you spend your money, how you save your money, and again, how you invest your money. And I've talked about this a lot on a couple different shows about investing in not being just the consumer, especially if it's something that you want to change. So deprogramming is saying that, oh, that's not for me. I can't be rich. I come from a poor generation. There's a lot of people who come from poor generations and then they create wealth because they learn how to change. So taking away all of the things, fears, and stepping outside of the box. No person who's wealthy was scared. And even if they were scared, they still took a risk. Okay. Because I'm not going to say there's no fear behind it, but they still took a risk. So it is up to you to start saying, how do I really want to live this life? How do I really want to move forward? What do I really want to do on a day-to-day basis? Who do I want to connect with? How do I want to connect? What do I want to process and watch? I don't watch the news. I don't. I don't watch the news. I'm trying to see if I have a wasp on my porch or not. I don't watch the news. I try to keep up with what I need to keep up with. I watch more business, financial shit than anything, because I like to see what the business people are doing, so I can make business moves. I just feel like, when it comes to this, when you sit down and say what life you're living and how do you want to live it, um, there was a part of me, and when I talk about my weight loss, there's been a part of me that tried to be okay with being over 300 pounds. And I just couldn't get okay with it. Not because of nobody else, not because of what nobody else feels, because of me. I can't get over it. I can't be comfortable over 300 pounds. So it was just like, no, I can't stay here. And that's what prompted me to keep making moves and making changes. So you have to determine what your life looks like for you and what you want to do. But when we're looking at changing, empowerment, or just knowledge base, what are we doing to grow? What are you guys doing? And I know you guys are doing a lot of things, but just look at that. And it doesn't stop. You don't read a couple books and then you're done, right? You don't go to a couple seminars and you're done. It's really changing and gravitating and doing the corrective action. Everything that we want, we're growing, we're doing. So investing yourself, if you don't do anything else, and I keep talking about this tax money because people are going to get huge checks. If you don't do anything else, invest in yourself in a positive way. Invest in yourself in something that creates either wealth for you, or you create an asset in your life, something that you own, something that's not just a car, a TV, a fucking watch, a ring, something that you've put that money into that you can say, I've invested in something long term. What are your long term investment goals if you have any? And if you don't have any, maybe you need to think about your long term goals. What are you looking for in the future? Do you just want money right now? Then, that's fine too. Right. And there, I'm not going to say all wealthy people don't shop, because there are some wealthy people that have to have every name brand shit, Gucci, all this, shit, but a lot more than not, okay? More than not, millionaires walking around with very basic clothes on, not flossing all their money. They're not all bunch of gold chains and rings and shit. There are people who need that, but you can tell the background they came from, that they have to show their wealth, because either that's the style or the industry that they come from, right? Not every wealthy person is walking around with all of their money on them or in their mouth or shit like that. They're just not. That's why they actually save money. Wealthy people, and I've watched a lot of different wealthy people. I've been watching them because there's a lot of YouTube videos on different wealthy people. And one of the common denominators that they all talk about is that they invest first. It's the first thing they do. Pay bills, invest. Pay bills, invest. Then the money left over is what they play with. So that's where my concept changed for myself. Invest and pay bills. Invest and pay bills. And if I didn't have money to play with, then I just don't have money to play with right now, because I'm starting, right? But eventually I will get to that place where I will have the money to play with. But I'd rather invest and pay bills. And so a lot of people look at that as a sacrifice. Oh, you're sacrificing because you're not having fun. I'm making a conscious decision to pay bills and invest. That's a decision. That's not a sacrifice. You got to look at what the term is. For me, sacrifice is me giving up my happiness for something. That's a sacrifice to me. So for me, investing in my future, or investing in property or anything that I want to invest in, for me, that's not a sacrifice. Versus going out to the club, or going out to have some drinks, or going out to go buy the latest and greatest. It's not a sacrifice. You're going to be the one that determines that for yourself. I can't tell you guys what that is, because everybody's different. So what you feel is a sacrifice, that's what it is. Me, self-development is not a sacrifice. I'd rather put my money into me versus putting my money into Gucci. That's just me. I don't own shit that says Gucci on it. I don't own shit that says, uh, what's the latest fucking shit? The Birkin bags. I don't fucking own one of those. I don't give a fuck about them. They're ugly as fuck. Those fucking bags are ugly as hell. I don't own one. I don't care to own one. You know what I mean? I just don't. My family knows it too. They don't even buy me that shit for Mother's Day, my birthday, or Christmas. Why? Because they know I don't like that shit. I'm not into it. I know people who spend $600 on a fucking purse. I've always thought that was crazy. I don't give a fuck how rich I get. I will still look at people like they're crazy to spend $600 on a fucking ugly ass purse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but not sorry. It's fucking ugly as shit. There's just some things I just don't, some things I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't agree with. Good morning, Sarah. I can't do it. Now, I'm not judging you guys if you're the ones who buy those purses. I'm just saying, for me personally, I would rather put that $600 into self-development versus a fucking purse that I'm carrying around. That purse ain't gonna make me feel better. The purse ain't gonna make me heal either. The purse ain't gonna heal my soul either. So I'd rather put that $600 into myself or my business versus putting it into a fucking purse, or even a $300 knockoff. I just feel like at some point you got to kind of look at who are you in this life. And me, I'm just not that person. Not to say I don't like nice stuff, because I do like nice stuff, but I don't care about the name on there. I don't care about the name behind things. I think you can find quality clothes that are beautiful. I think you can find quality shoes, you know. And I used to be Starbucks was my shit. Daniela, I don't go to Starbucks like that no more. Starbucks don't get my money no more. I stopped going to Starbucks a couple months ago. And I'll go every now and then, like maybe once or twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, where I used to go every day. And in 2020, I was probably drinking 2 to 3 Starbucks a day, on top of any other coffees that I wanted to. I probably was drinking like more than that, but now I don't even go every day. So even when I looked at the amount of money I was putting into Starbucks a week, because I kept reloading it on my statements, like $50 here, $50 there. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You don't even realize how much money. So that money I take, like, no, I could take that Starbucks money and I can put it on my stocks. Good morning, Stacy. Like real shit. I think the most expensive purse I ever bought was a 1999 purse. It was a Rockaware back in fucking like 2005. Cuz I worked at it was maybe 2004, cuz I worked at Marshalls. And this was the only time that I bought name brand shit, is cuz I worked for Marshalls. And they had this cute black Rockaware bag. Y'all remember Rockaware? And it was 1999 on sale, and I bought it. And I thought I was doing big things then. Buying a $20 purse. That's the most expensive purse. And for me, that's expensive. $20 on a fucking purse, that's expensive. Okay. Um, and I think I bought some Steve Madden shoes it was in the $20 range, because I worked for Marshalls. So I was like on the clearance rack. I would get it on the clearance rack, like boom, I'm getting it. That was the one time that I had actually spent money on some name brand shit, is because I worked for Marshalls and I knew when the fucking deals were there. Other than that, I don't care about name brand shit. Right, right. A lot of people think they're broke and poor because they can pay their bills, and I'm like, that's not poor. I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, if you can pay your bills and you can still eat, that's not poor. Poor is when you can't do any of that and your ass is in the line for any type of government assistance, because you need to balance out what you can't have, what you aren't. You're selling your fucking TV and shit. You're selling any jewelry that you have. I've been a person, man. I remember it getting bad sometimes where I would be taking DVDs to the pawn shop, like, how much can I get for this DVD? You know what I mean? I need to get some bread and shit. So, I remember it getting bad. But if you got money to pay all your bills, you're not broke. You're making a decision. I want to pay my bills. It's a decision. And people take it as like it's not. It is. It's a conscious choice. You want to pay your bills. You want a roof over your head. I like being in my home. I actually like my house. So for me, it's not a problem to pay the rent. It's like I pay for the comfort of a roof over my head, right? Yeah. I think people are just poor money managers. When I look at my money before, when I was working for a company, I was a poor money manager, and I had a very horrible impulse buy. I was always impulse buying shit. And like I said, shit that I didn't need. That's something that I had to correct. In 2019, I started to correct that. I started to stop doing that, impulse buying shit I didn't need. And then 2020 was another one where I started to invest self development. My money went there. In 2021, it went more on self development. Hell yeah, if you're comfortable, you're not broke. I tell people all the time, you ain't broke and you fucking eating out every day. That's not broke. Broke is where your ass get in the kitchen and you cook because you know you don't have no money. That's broke. Broke is you get your ass in the kitchen and you fucking cook that one box of elbows or macaroni, however you call it. That is fucking broke. when you know you ain't got no butter, you eating a peanut butter sandwich. Broke is you not eating out. You're not broke if you fucking eat out every day. I'm sorry. You're not. Them fucking meals cost like $10, $11, $10, $12. You're not broke. Yeah, impulse buy is a form of addiction. And so I would, because I would have buyer's remorse. I would buy something and I would have remorse. So in 2019, I really started to correct that. Really started to correct what I did and how I did it, how I spent my money. And I started to ask myself, because I remember coming across someone who said that. Ask yourself, do you need it? And when I started to do that, do I need this right now? A lot of it was no. No, your ass don't need this shit right now. Why the fuck are you buying this shit? Right. I own one, but it's the kids have it. I don't watch it either, Greta. So you just have to change, how you're seeing things. Change your mindset. If you want to be wealthy, you have to think in a wealthy manner. Um, there's this guy, he just passed away actually, called Bob Proctor. And he has a lot of beautiful quotes. He was a man who came from a poor family, and he made a lot of money. I think start to listen to people who have made it. Change who you're listening to. Don't keep listening to a bunch of broke ass people who ain't did shit with themselves. Start to listen to people who have made it that can tell you tips of what to do, how to change your mindset, what to do on a daily basis, where to look at. A lot of people who are in a poor lack mindset will make you feel bad for the self-development and time that you take to put into self. Those are people that are sitting in the same shitty energy. So you want to change and listen to some people who are giving you some uplifting kind of energy or statements to tell you you can do it. You can move forward and you can change your life and create wealth for yourself. So whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to do, know that it's going to take you to deprogram what you thought you knew, right? Got to take all that out. Old software, we're removing the old software and we got to reprogram with new software. Yeah, I think finances should be taught in school. But again, school doesn't teach you to teach you. School is especially public school, is a babysitter, a free babysitter for families. They're not teaching your kid about stuff. I took my grandsons last night to the store. They had this math night. And I took the kids to the store and they got a paper. And then we had to go through the store and we had to find certain things on the paper. So something was like, okay, go to the bananas, right? Right? Find the bananas. How much are the bananas per pound? Weigh, get a bunch of bananas, like a little thing of bananas. How much does it weigh? And then how much does it cost for your bananas? And my grandsons were struggling. Like, these are kids that know multiplication, they know a bunch of shit, but they were struggling with the financial aspect of, if I have these bananas, right, and it costs this a pound, and I have 3 pounds, how much is it, right? And then when we went to the eggs, and it was like, how, if you wanted to buy 2 of the 6 dozen eggs, or do you want to buy the 12 dozen pack? Which one is a better deal? Them sitting there trying to figure out which one was a better deal, they couldn't grasp the concept because they don't do this shit. They don't do the shopping, right? They don't know what's a better deal. To them, that's like, I just pick eggs. I don't care, But to sit and work through it with them, we had I think 10 questions. And I went and worked through it with them, was crazy. And I was like, okay, so I see we got to do some finance shit with you guys. It's time to do some finance stuff, you know?